Welcome back to the Woodgrafter. Today we're starting a mini-series all about spraying in the small workshop. That sounds good? Stick around. Welcome back and welcome to the start of another mini-series, this time all about spraying in the small workshop. If you follow the channel for a while, you know I've been building more and more projects of this sort of kind of construction out of MDF as part of my craft business that I'm launching soon. CNC machines working, I'm knocking these things out incredibly quickly, but the painting takes too long. And I've already moved away from hand painting and I've been experimenting with these aerosol cans like this chalky finished furniture paint from Rust-Oleum that I've had really great results with, beautiful finish. But this is acetone based, it smells in the workshop, and boy, it's an expensive way to go. So I wanted to move up from the aerosol cans to some sort of spraying in the workshop. I've not got lots of room in the small workshop, I've not got room to make a great big spray booth, but I still want to get those high quality results. So I've been looking at spraying. Now there's three types of sprayer that we'll talk about. We'll talk about airless, we'll talk about compressor, and we'll talk about high volume, low pressure. What are they? What are they used for? Which one did I go for? Then we'll unbox this little baby here, so a clue of what I actually went for there, and have a look at it. Now when most people think about sprayers, they tend to think about the compressor. You've got a large compressor that sits there compressing air into some sort of storage tank, a storage tank of compressed air. That then connects to a hand sprayer with some sort of module on the top that holds your paint. And then as you squirt that, the paint falls down into the spray gun, the pressure from the tank hits that, atomises it, and you've got a spray. Now they're the most common type, and if you've got a compressor in your workshop already, that's probably a good way to go. However, I don't have a compressor, and I don't particularly want a compressor. They're a bit noisy, they tend to be expensive. It's something else I need to maintain overall. And it'll only have one use, and that'll be for the spray. So I didn't want to go down that road, but they are very, very good for most types of paint. They'll do oil-based paints, they'll do water-based paints, they'll do thin paints, they'll do thick paints. The next one I want to point out is this type. This is the high volume, low pressure. Now, although they look a little bit similar to the compressor type, they are different. Rather than creating a large tank of compressed air, these just give you a consistent airflow. And the motor inside is almost like a vacuum cleaner, but running in reverse. So rather than sucking, it's blowing. And it's always going to give you that airstream. Now, similarly, you have a canister of paint. You pull the trigger, the paint falls down onto the airstream, and it flows. Now they're a very, very good choice for smaller projects and furniture projects, but you've still got two parts of the system. You've still got the part that's creating the airflow, the inverted vacuum cleaner, if you will, and then you've got your gun as well, and the long pipe between it. And your paint, once again, sits on top, and it's gravity fed, and you go ahead and you make your spray. Now, because it's relying on the airflow, they're not very, very good for thick paints, latex paints or chalk paint that I want to have a play with. So great device if you're just using water-based paints, very light paints or stained, which you could well be doing in your woodworking, but a bit limited for those other ends. And once again, I've still got that long hose and I've got two devices that now need maintaining and cleaning, which is not really for me. Now the third type is airless. Airless works on an electrical supply, and inside your device you've got some sort of pump that's a very, very, very fast pump, piston pump, that's creating a pressure. That pressure pressurizes a container, sucks the paint up using pressure, and atomizes it out. Now you can get two types of airless. There's a type where you've got a long tube that you can just put into a bucket, i.e. straight into your paint pot, and then that will actually spray from the paint pot itself, or to 5 gallons of paint. Incredibly good for large areas if you're buying that type. But once again, I don't want all those hoses in the workshop, so I've gone for the second type of airless, which is handheld. Now, these are incredibly good for most types of paint, but I will stress, be careful what you buy, because not all types of paint would work. The one I've got is great for water-based paint, but for God's sake, don't put oil-based paint or volatile paints through it, because it's likely to cause some sort of explosion. But you can get the handheld airless that will allow for that type of paint, and we'll talk about that when we unbox this one and see what we've got. Now, because it works on a high pressure, they're good for thin paints, such as the MDF primer I'll be using, or hopefully thick paints, such as the chalk paints or latex paints, and you can adjust the pressure to suit the paint. Now, the one downside of the airless sprayer is a thing called overspray. As you're spraying your device, overspray is a stuff that goes everywhere else apart from on the thing that you're actually spraying. And because it's pushing through as a high pressure, it's atomizing the paint, you have quite a large fan of high pressure stuff. And therefore it tends to go everywhere into the air as well. So if you do have problems with overspray, then that's maybe not for you. If you're in a customer environment and you're using it, you've got to mask down quite carefully because that will settle in the air and settle on the floor, on the windowsills, on the door frames, pretty much everywhere you don't want it to go to. So there is a bit more time spent there with masking. And if you're using it outside, you're likely to cover your neighbour's washing or car in the overspray as well, as it gets into the air and makes beautiful dust clouds of paint. So be careful of that. This is the sort of thing that I want to be able to spray. You can see it's one of my pop head cabinets, but now they're CNC created. And this one now knocks out in about 25 minutes on the CNC machine. About 10 minutes to glue together and I'm good to go. But the painting takes a long time getting into all these different areas. And by the time you primed it and you've rubbed it and you primed it and you've rubbed it and 2 coats of top, you're coming to 4 hours worth of painting to get this thing done. And I want to batch these things out and keep the production costs down as much as I can, so they just sell into the marketplace. Nice and simple. Now, as part of this series, I am going to look at spray booth, because I've got a theory, don't know, but I've got a theory. If I can have some sort of portable spray booth, I can contain that overspray into a single area. And if I can put some air filtration close to the spray booth, I can eliminate a lot of the problems that I see, but I'll still retain the advantages of a compact system that I can use in the workshop. So whistle stop tour, 3 types. We've got the compressor, we've got the high volume, low pressure, and we've got the airless. I'm going for the airless because I think it's going to give me the portability and the versatility I want in my shop. Let's look at the device that I bought and see what we think. Now, this is not a sponsored video. I generally want to get into spraying to increase the quality of the finish and the speed of the finish. So I just looked around for the best deal I could find on the marketplace, and I got the best deal from this company, a company called Spray Plant. And when they sent the kit through, they sent me through a couple of toys. They sent me through a nice branded water bottle and a nice branded cap, which is great for protecting your COVID-inspired haircut from overspray. Nice. The delivery was fantastic. Delivery was actually free from these guys, and it came within 1 day. I think I ordered it Sunday afternoon, Tuesday morning, knock on the door, delivery man arrived with my new toy. So very, very good. Seems to be a great company. Shout out to them. I'll leave a link here so you can go and have a look if you wish. I've no association whatsoever with them, but so far they seem pretty good. I went for the Grako Ultra Cordless Air Handheld device. It comes in 3 models. There's a corded one, and obviously that's got a wire sticking out of the back of it that you plug into a mains outlet. I didn't really want to go for corded. I wanted to go for cordless, again for that versatility. I just don't want cords trailing around when I'm trying to spray. I guarantee it'll get stuck in the paint, it'll drag it, it'll get messy. Just the less mess, the better, in my humble opinion. There's an Ultra cordless, and that's the one that we're going to look at, that's battery powered. And then there's an Ultra Max cordless. The difference between the Ultra Max and the Ultra is that the Ultra Max will spray water paint and solvent paints and oil-based paints. The Ultra cordless will only do water-based paints. Now, the paint I use is water-based paint, so I didn't bother going for the top one. In terms of price point, the Ultra Corded from our friends at Spray Plant is going to come in about £362.50, excluding VAT. The one I've got here was £433.33, excluding VAT. The Ultra Max is going to come at £533.33. So between about £350 to about £550 with free delivery and quick delivery on all of them. Now, Spray Plant do other sprayers as well, so other ones are available, but this one had fantastic reviews. Lots of people raving about this particular brand. They've got a fantastic support network, Graco. They've got a YouTube channel, graco.com/ultra will get you access to their videos, and they take you step by step how to use this thing, how to set it up, how to prime it for the first use, how to refill it, how to clean it, how to store it. So really, really good video support on that as well. You can see here it's a US product, very proudly flying the flag, and why not indeed. And there's a usual marketing, fastest way to finish small jobs, perfect airless finish, and reliability delivered every job, every time. And you can see they've partnered up with DeWalt, so it's actually taking the standard DeWalt batteries. So if you're already into the DeWalt battery ecosystem, then that's a bit of an advantage as well. On the top, it shows you a few things it can do: doors, trim, walls, plinth, ceilings, garage doors, cabinets, and decks, and it's got some pretty pictures of things that are nicely painted, just in case you can't read. They've got a website, Graco Ultra. On the side, it's multilingual, but basically it says it's the fastest way to small jobs, perfect finish and reliability delivered, same as on the front of the box. On the other side, again, it's got multilingual, talking about the specifications, and on the back of the box, it's got all that broken down in English. And it talks about the key parts and the key features of this. But rather than looking at this, let's open it up and see what we get in the kit. Now, when you open the box, you're going to be presented with a beautiful blue nylon bag. Nothing else is inside the box. But you can see it comes with this quite nice storage bag, which is good, somewhere to keep it. And then when you open up the storage bag, you get into the goodies proper. First thing you're going to find is a charger. So it actually comes with a DeWalt charger, a DCB 115, and this will take anything from the 10.8 volt battery up to the 18 volt battery. So while we're here, let's get that plugged in. Obviously mine's come with the UK plug. Depending where you buy it, it'll come with the Euro plug or the US plug. Oh, you've then got the gun itself. We'll come back to that in a second. And you've got two batteries here. So these are obviously the DeWalt batteries. They've got the battery test at the back, so you can see I've got one charge of battery and two batteries. So that's quite generous, I think, coming with two batteries. So we'll just get one of those charging. You can see that's charging away now. We also get a bit of packing material here. I guess you can keep that or lose it, your choice. And we get a lot of printed material. So we've got two manuals talking about the actual batteries themselves, multilingual, usual sort of thing, you know, careful how you dispose of them. Oh, sorry, 3 books on that, all multilingual. You can never have too much information about a battery, I find, in my life. You then also get the operations manual, and again, this is multilingual. From memory, it was in English, German, French, and Spanish. You also get a nice little card talking about the contractor club membership of Graco, and that gives you a 1 + 1 year extended warranty. So it comes with 12 months. Looks like if I register it, I get an extra 12 months warranty, so that's well worth doing. And I also get a free gift. Oh, and exclusive promotions and the latest news. So we'll fill that in, I think, and we'll go and register at some point. It did also come with a DVD, and I got quite excited because I thought it was going to be DVD of all the videos that are on the website. But it's not. It's just a PDF version of the manual that we already get. But hey, why not? Now it also comes with a few goodies as well. These are what's known as flex liners. These are the things that take the paint, and we're going to look at those shortly, and they go into this bag here. It does actually come with 2 spray tips. So this is the FFLP 410 tip, and this is the FFLP 514 tip. Now they're different sizes, different size holes, different size patterns. What they refer to is the V pattern that comes out as you're atomizing the air. The smaller the number, 4110 as opposed to 514, gives you the spray, and it measures the spray 12 inches, yes, it's an American system, 12 inches away from the surface that you're providing. So if you have an FFLP 410 tip, that's going to give you a 4-inch spray 12 inches away from the wall. If you have the 514, that's going to give you a 5-inch spray pattern 12 inches away from the wall, and the 10 or the 14 at the end of that is the size of the hole in the actual spray tip itself. So if you think about that overspray conversation that we had, in my workshop, I'm going to be spraying onto the bench here in some sort of tent or masked off area, and I'll be spraying something like this. So I actually want a relatively narrow spray pattern, so therefore the smaller tip is better for me than the larger tip. And that came as standard, and it comes as standard in all the kits, and it's really, really quite nice to see that. It's also got a couple of spare parts here. It's got a spare paint filter, and it's got a couple of caps, this black cap here on the device, which is the air reservoir, and we'll look at that shortly. So put those on one side. I'm going to drop in the smaller of the tips because that's going to be better for my type of work. So while I'm here, Not sure you can see, just here at the bottom of the pack, it's got a small black thing and a small yellow thing. What that is, that's just a seal that goes inside this main part of the spray nozzle itself, and it fits just inside there. You can just see the black one at the bottom, and they can wear, which is why if you get a spare one inside there. So with the silver G facing forward, pull that down inside the hole and just twist it into place. Now I have heard stories of these leaking ever so slightly, and if they do leak, it's probably because you've not seated that down in place. And it is keyed. Not sure if you can see it, but this is quite flat. You know, this is all flush with the barrel of the nozzle, where I've got these two shoulders here. You want to push this down, it keys in one way. If you try and push it down in the wrong direction, it's not going to work for you. Silver G to the front, get those two shoulders keyed into there, push it all the way down, keep one safe, and inside the bag there's some nice little pockets down the side for storing things in, which is ace. And we're going to keep the spares here safe as well inside that pocket. I'll leave that out because I want to register it, but the other stuff I'll put down here for future reference. So it now gives you quite a nice place to store your gun and spare pots inside there as well, and you're good to go. So that's what you get inside the kit. So there you go, that's the unboxing of the Graco Ultra Airless Handheld Spray Gun. Is it ideal for spraying my craft projects in my small workshop? I don't know, we'll find that out on the next video. See you soon.